Sometimes you just got to do it however you can do it.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team at 602-387-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. It's another edition of Southwest Bias, and as you can tell, I'm not in Studio K today. No, I am at my home studio because today is my daughter's 9th birthday, and I decided to spend the morning with her, and it got me thinking about the path it takes to actually birth something. Now, obviously, I didn't birth my daughter. That was my wife, and she did all the hard work. But when you look back on it, you realize that it's not a straight line. It's not something that's easy. A lot of people, talk about the joy of having a child, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that come along with it. But there's a very difficult journey to get there. The 9 months leading up to my daughter's birth were marred with doctor's appointments, hospital visits, my wife being laid up in bed, all sorts of things that made those 9 months difficult just to get there. Then her birth was an insane experience. Multiple hours at the hospital, being told multiple times you're going to have to go into emergency C-section surgery for your daughter to be born. Then her being born and having her whisked away into the NICU and having her spend 2 days there until you finally got to bring her home. And those moments of joy kind of built up. It's a long way to get where I'm going, but that was all flooding me this morning as I sat at home. And then I thought, as I was preparing for the show, while I was driving her to school, about how that applies with the Phoenix Suns right now. They're going through a birthing process, if you will. And the off season was somewhat of that 9 months of gestation, that preparing for the birth of this so-called child, the brainchild of Brian Gregory and of Matt Ishbia and of Jordan Ott. And those 9 months, 10 months had, that offseason had its ups and downs, its issues, good moments, bad moments, everything that led us up to now. I think you look at it and think, well, now all the joy happens because it's here. And as much as I'd love for that to be the case, just like having a child, it isn't. There's moments of pure joy. There's moments of excitement. There's moments of pain. There's moments of fear. There's moments of not understanding how you got where you are. And that's where we are with the Phoenix Suns. There are going to be moments of pure joy with this team. Moments of frustration and moments wondering why and how we got to exactly where we are. This will not be a straight line to success or to fun in any way. I wish it was, but there will be moments of pure joy when it comes with this team. And as Hello says, moments where you can't stand them. I mean, that's usually on the kid's side, not on the parent's side. But yeah, there'll be moments where we're extremely frustrated and may not even like this Suns team. Because growing pains are going to happen. We've seen it with Devin Booker in the first 4 games. High turnover game. Missed free throws sometimes. Great moments. 3 30-plus point performances. We've seen it at the center position. It's frustrating sometimes to watch Oso start at that center position, but then you get those moments with Nick Williams where you're like, with Mark Williams. I keep doing that. Mark Williams, where you really like what you're saying or seeing, or with Nick Richards, where he's playing quality defense. And then you'll see him fall asleep on the defensive end and not actually get anything done sometimes. There's going to be extreme moments of frustration. But I'm hoping one of those moments of joy come tonight, where we get to see Jalen Green actually play for the first time. He was upgraded to questionable today from the injury report, which is better than any status he's had so far this year, which means there's a chance we get to see that first iteration of what this offense looks like with a Jalen Green starting rather than a Grayson Allen. And there's going to be moments of joy and moments of extreme frustration with that as well. That's just going to be the case because Jalen Green will have some great moments and will make some dumb shots. So I am looking forward to what they're able to put together, though. How they're able to make this offense look good. How they're able to find those explosive plays that they've lacked so far with this team. What will Jalen Green look like? How will he take the pressure off of Devin Booker and make Devin Booker's offensive game better? How will he have an impact on the defensive end? Because by taking that load off of Devin Booker on the offensive end, how will that change Devin's defense? Green may not be the best defender in the world, but he tries and he works hard and he has that energy, he has that speed to try to make a difference. How will that look on the defensive end? One thing, though, I know a lot of people want, but I don't think we're going to get, is Mark Williams starting. Everything that I get a feeling from that I've heard is they're going to continue with their plan. They're going to continue to build him up, to get him to a place where they're worried about the long term with him, not some short term gain. They're worried about, can he be playing throughout the season, not can he play as a starter in the 5th game of the year. I think that's the right play with a guy that's had so many injury issues. And to me, what's more important, those closing minutes or those first minutes? Usually it's who's closing. Mark Williams has been the closing center for this team. And if they want to keep him that 24 to 26 range, and maybe going to 30 if you go to overtime, I would much rather than pick and choose those moments than start him in a game. That doesn't mean that I think Oso should be the starter. I have a feeling that they're going to continue to go with that for a little while. But I think Nick Richards makes more sense so you can get that physicality, some of that defense, a little bit more rebounding. Especially when Jalen Green comes back, because everything we heard was Oso has that playmaking ability. He can be an offensive hub in that way that can make up for his deficiencies. But once Green comes back in, you hope that he picks up some of that slack. And maybe it's worth sliding a guy like a Nick Richards in to give you better defense, to give you better rebounding, to do the little things that could help you not fall down early in a game. Because that's been the biggest problem here. Talked about it on PHNX Suns yesterday, but the Suns' second half defense is one of the better in the league. But in the first half, their net rating's 29th in the league. I believe it's 9th in the second half of games. This is a team that needs to figure out the early on. And I think making that slight tweak, a Nick Richards in the starting lineup, could go a long way to that. Or Oso figuring it out, which I think is going to take a little while. You need Ryan Dunn to figure out his shot. There's a lot of little things that need to be figured out on the margins, right? That's what I think needs to happen here along the way. There will be ups, there will be downs, there will be growing pains, because that is inevitable with a young head coach and a young lineup and a new lineup that's playing together for the first time. But those moments of joy, I hope we can hold on to those. I hope we can look back and think how much fun we had. Because when you're a father and you look back on those moments that you've had with your kid, the time you spent, all the other little things go away. You don't remember the the tantrums, the things that are tough as a parent. You remember the joy, the happiness, the brightness in your kid's eye, the fun that you had. And I hope that's where we are with the Phoenix Suns at the end of the season. But maybe that's my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, I miss seeing your.
Hi.
I look funny this up close to the desk.
Mhm.
Hi, tiny hands. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Shane, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you doing, Espo?
I'm good. Elco82 says, Espo, just accept the Suns are trying to play like the Warriors, and Oso is the Suns' Draymond. You buy into that? Is that what they're trying to do here?
No. Oso is a Draymond Green.
That's what Elco82 is trying to sell.
In what regard? Because it ain't.
I'd assume
that we
as
see on the court.
an undersized center that maybe tries to pass. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could be
this is no slight on Oso. If he's Draymond Green, he's like the Dollar General Draymond Green.
That's nasty.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just, it's kind of the way Elko says playmaking.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
you really
get
need
that that's what they're
playmaking, though,
trying.
from the center position on this team. I don't think I want that.
No, what I want is somebody that can play some defense, somebody that can protect the rim, somebody who'll grab a few rebounds. And then if you want to bring Oso in as that change of pace, as the guy that can be that second unit offensive hub, can play make, can help out, I think that makes a hell of a lot of sense. But I'm not sure this starting lineup is going to be sustainable if you keep having these rough starts to games.
Yeah.
And maybe Jalen Green hides some of those blemishes.
Maybe a center that can play defense. Maybe a center that has length. Maybe a young, energetic guy. Maybe a center from South Sudan, went to Duke. Maybe that.
Look,
I'd
love Malo. I'd love Malawatch to get there. I don't want people counting on him or Rasheer Fleming to put on some Superman cape and show up in Game 10. Kobe Brea will be doing great for the Valley Suns and in his spot minutes for the Suns this year. I think we're a year or two away from Kobe Brea potentially being a really helpful piece off the bench. So people are like, oh, you got to stop. You got to stop talking about how this might be. No, this is what we're in right now when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. It's talking about how this might play out, what this might look like. Because
what's your confidence level that Jalen's back tonight?
I'm 50-50. I'm thinking it's Friday because he hadn't he hadn't really played in scrimmages. He played the coaches a little bit the other day. I don't know. Maybe they got him in there yesterday and some today, and maybe there's a comfort level with it. But I also don't want to I don't want to rush him back and have you re-aggravate the groin.
No.
Re-injure.
Just aggravate. You're aggravating me, Espo.
I know. That's the whole point of me saying re-aggravate, is to aggravate you. Those are the things that I don't know that he comes back tonight. And if he does, the offense will be interesting to watch. It'll be interesting to see if they get to the foul line more often, which was something that hampered them early on when it came to this group. They closed that gap a little bit more in the last game. But, this is going to be a conundrum of a team that we're going to have to watch grow, and we'll see if they can do it. Elco82 says of Oso, it's not what you want, it's what we get. That may be true. That very well may be true. And I feel like that's kind of the lot in life as Arizona sports fans. It might not be what we want, but it's certainly what you're going to get when it comes to the ups, the downs, and the pain sometimes of being an Arizona sports fan. Kingus Dingus. Good for you, man. Sometimes, that's the only way you can have anything happen. I'm not reading it on air, but
from Kingus Dingus.
Yeah, I did not either. So thank you to Brent Carroll. Hello, Elco82, Deborah. So says Jay, my former lawyer. Now that I have the husband and wife law team representing me, so says Jay becomes my secondary lawyer that handles the dirty, dirty work. And Kingus Dingus, I'll say hi to you again as well. Hit that like button. I appreciate it for you being here. The bias in the chat. Become a member, a subscribers or supporters club member today by hitting that join button on YouTube or clicking the link in the description. It is super easy. And then you're going to get those custom emojis that you see people spamming the chat with. You can hit that. We got the ahoy hoy. We've got the hold the line, the pitchfork. We got Phoenix, Shazam aligned, all sorts of different ones for you. Plus, we're going to have some exclusive content coming your way as well. You can become a original supporters club member. Do it now. And please, it'll be fun. And we've got plenty more coming up on the show after the break. Johnny Venerable is supposed to join us. I haven't seen him yet, but if he doesn't, Shane and I will be talking Cardinals and talking what they can do in the second half. That's coming up right after this on Southwest Bias. We're at Mountain America Credit Union. You've heard me talk about it, and they've been in the town for over 100 years. These people know what it's like to take care of business when it comes to banking in the desert. And they have over 1 million members. So why wouldn't you want to be a part of what Mountain America Credit Union has going on? You can become part of the My Lifestyle checking account, and you can enjoy being part of that by getting food deals. You can get telehealth access. You're going to get special deals on multiple things when it comes to being part of the My Lifestyle checking account, including loan rate discounts. Plus, you can get a son's debit card, or if you're into a credit card, you can get a son's credit card as well. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to join. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost. Registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Circle K. I didn't get to go to Circle K this morning because it's been a weird morning, as you can tell by me being in the home studio, the undisclosed walk-in closet somewhere in the East Valley. But every other morning I go to Circle K and I get my coffee. And Val over there, one of our friends at Circle K's corporate office, tipped me off on the cinnamon coffee, which I've been on the last few days, and it is spectacular. If you have not hit up Circle K's coffee, I recommend it. And the best way to do it is as an Inner Circle member, because sometimes they'll give you deals on their coffee and so many other things, including gas, 25 cents off per gallon when you sign up for your first 5 fill-ups, then 3 cents per gallon after that. Then you're going to hit that ESPO level. It's 5 cents off. I think there's a Johnny Venerable level that's like $1 off, but only he gets it. It's kind of a weird thing. Plus 79 cents Polar Pops, 99 cent Frosters, and so many more deals, including food and other drinks. Join the Inner Circle today for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply like everything in life. At participating locations, visit CircleK.com for details. I lied. Johnny's been here the whole time. I just couldn't see him in the backstage. So we're going to welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, and some of the best hair on the network. It's Johnny Venerable. Johnny, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. It was a joyous bye week. This team couldn't hurt me, but now we're back in the thick of things and ready to be disappointed again.
It looks like we're like sharing a home studio right now. Yeah, we've got the same exact background.
I wish we shared a place of residence. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, our families would love living together, I'm sure, Johnny. But eventually, when both our wives kick us out, we can share an apartment. It'll be great. Let's talk about the bye week. I expected some action. I expected some changes. I expected something to happen. And we got absolutely nothing. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I think so. But this is the season of surprises, and not a good way. It's like the anti-Christmas. It's a position right now where, I mean, like I've been saying this on the show for weeks. This team has zero juice. They have zero buzz, and it is so depressing because, like, they have so much young talent on the team and players that we're excited about. And it's like, it almost feels like they're going through the motions this year with the idea that, yeah, we'll be safe from changes regardless. Like we had Adam Hogan, does a phenomenal job for our friends at CHGO and of course ALLCITY. And he was like, yeah, like you're not in a position where this just can sustain. You can't just expect consistent losing streaks and like everybody's safe to keep their job. Like he was pretty surprised when we had him on last week that Drew Petzing had not been fired. And I know there were people out there that say, well, they played better offensively with Jacoby Brissett. I would argue that the offensive game plan against Micah Parsons was a fireable offense because no other team has opted to play like that offensively the rest of the year. They allowed Micah Parsons to wreck that game. So I don't know. It's just I think we're right now, Espo, like maybe we'll see some personnel changes down the line. I'm numb to any kind of coaching changes because I feel like we're going to be in November here in a hot minute. Like the coaching dominoes are going to fall in January one way or the other for this team. So like, what does it really matter at this point?
Does the changing come in the form of play calling, though? Especially you bring up Jacoby Brissett. He doesn't sound like he's going to play. It sounds like Kyler's going to be back in the lineup. Do you have to change the way you call the game for Kyler to make it a little bit more similar to the way you called it for Jacoby Brissett? I understand they're different quarterbacks, but if you're seeing success there and going more under center and trying those things, do you at least have to change the play calling if you're not going to change the actual coaching to try to make this more tenable from an offensive standpoint?
This is going to sound harsh, and I don't mean it to sound disrespectful. I just don't believe they have the coaching offensive acumen on staff right now to be able to take Kyler Murray and to develop an offense where his skill set is maximized. And if you push back on that narrative, like we've got 3 years of a sample size with this regime, like clearly they prefer somebody with a different skill set. And it's like, okay, guys, if you're either telling me that you have a stigma against Kyler's skill set, then you should have just gone all in this offseason on selling high on Kyler Murray and getting a quarterback that fits your standard and your mold. Like, think of the gusto from Seattle to fire their OC and to take a very safe quarterback in Geno Smith that just won them 10 games and say, you know what? This guy, we think we've reached the ceiling. Ship him out of town. They took a ton of flack for that. And they said, Sam Darnold has a way higher ceiling, and we're going to pair him with Clint Kubiak because we have a vision. Like, what's the Cardinals' offensive vision? What's their identity? So, no, I don't have confidence that they're just going to be able to have it fixed on Monday Night Football. I'll tell you what it will be. It'll be a huge indictment with everybody involved if against this dismal Cowboys defense, they cannot have success. If it looks broken offensively, like we're going to reach like DEFCON 1 with this fan base Tuesday morning. And right now I'm expecting it. Like, I think the game will be competitive, but like Jacoby Brissett, the offense, it was just dramatically better. But do I think Jacoby Brissett's better than Kyler Murray? No. So then what does it fall under? It falls under the coaching staff that had ample time this offseason to say, okay, what didn't work at the end of last year when this team sputtered to 2-5? When the offense clearly reached a plateau? Is it play calling? Is it quarterback? Is it personnel? And they preach continuity. And it was the wrong decision. And now, like, I don't even really want to put like a target on an individual, like one individual. Like, yeah, do I think Drew Petzing's in over his head? I do. But like at this point, it's like Kyler, Drew, JG, Austin Ford, like you made your bed with this. And we've got 2 months to decide who should remain on this team.
Well, if I mean, in your estimate, if it doesn't feel like that Kyler can actually get it done with Petzing, then why not just play Brissett? Why go back to him? Is it as simple as he's making $40 million, so you have to? I mean, if you don't believe in the guy, don't play him. Go with the guy that you actually believe in, because if you're going to go down, you might as well go down doing it your way, right?
Well, I've heard both like arguments, and I've heard like people close to the situation. I'm getting kind of competing narratives where like Jonathan Gannon's guy is Kyler Murray unequivocally. But then also like they are fully aware that like Kyler and the offense that they want to run has limitations. So it's like, okay, well, any coaching staff worth their salt will be able to say like, okay, well, let's tweak it. You know, I made this argument yesterday on the show, like go back and look at what Kyler Murray did best under Cliff Kingsbury and then see if that's sustainable. And like, these aren't conversations we should be having as a collective on October 29th. Like, this is a good conversation for, I don't know, February 29th or March 29th. Like if you're asking these questions now, it's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Do I think we'll see Jacoby Brissett again this year? Probably. But at that point, like you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like I think part of it is also you want to be able to sustain Kyler Murray's trade value. I think that's something that a lot of people don't want to admit. If if Kyler Murray plays well and they don't make the playoffs again, like what could they get for him? What could you flip him for? Like if you bench him for Jacoby Brissett outright, like what are you getting? Like a 6th-round pick, a 5th-round pick for a guy that was benched for a 32-year-old journeyman quarterback? So I don't know. The whole thing though is just it screams like malpractice with how to have an offense in the 21st century in today's NFL. When you think about like, okay, Sam Darnold went from Kevin O'Connell to Seattle, and that's the comp I continue to use because they had an infrastructure in Seattle that could mirror what he did well there. The play action. Remember, everybody was worried about, is he going to turn the ball over? Is the inclement weather going to be a bother? Like, he has been outstanding. And like, I think Kyler Murray, for all of his faults this year, would be able to go into an infrastructure next year with a coaching staff, Minnesota, what have you. Like, look at Daniel Jones this year. That has to scare them unequivocally to move off of Kyler Murray, and it's part of the reason why they haven't opted to go with Jacoby long term. I really believe that.
You mentioned trades. Obviously, the trade deadline's coming up. Is there a running back or somebody out there on the market that you think could actually help correct some of what's gone wrong here and potentially save a season that's starting to feel like it might be unsalvageable?
I would only make a trade, like we talked it through on our show yesterday. I would only make a trade for Breece Hall. I wouldn't make a trade for anybody else at this point. I think everybody else is a Band-Aid. Breece Hall, like you think about this Cardinal offense, like what do they do well? They have no juice right now. And it's like, okay, get me a playmaker that can score touchdowns that's in its prime. And then I should be able to do the rest, right? Whether it's Drew Peth, if they trade for Breece Hall, like he's going to have a new offensive coordinator minimum next year. But any offensive coordinator that's any good will be able to say, well, yeah, that's a piece I can use. Everybody else, I think, is circumstantial. I think if the Cardinals were winning like last year when they were 6-4 and they traded for Baron Browning, yeah, you can make an argument. Go get Chuba Hubbard, go get Alvin Kamara, go get a Band-Aid to help you finish the job this year. I think back to like when they traded for Kenyon Drake, and it was like, yeah, we're not a great team, but this is a piece for years down the line, and they used Kenyon Drake in the following season. So for me, it's like, what would the Jets want for Breece Hall? And if I could find a way to make sure he's around next year because he is a free agent, like that would behoove them. Because right now, they don't have enough offensive firepower. Like I like Michael Wilson. I like, Marvin Harrison Jr. They don't have a number one receiver right now, whether it's because of the coaching staff or the quarterback or all the above. And by the way, you could be ushering in a new quarterback, maybe a rookie, a top 15 pick. It's like, okay, well, you have Breece Hall now, where you have a competent running game to go with that. The unfortunate part about this is, like, James Conner was basically on a 1-to-1 year deal. That contract is very movable in the offseason, and who knows? They could bring him back. Trey Benson, though, is the biggest letdown because what we saw prior to James's injury was he was fine, right? I don't want to call him a jag. He wasn't just a guy, but he's a guy that I think, like, you could find in every draft, right? And then immediately after James Conner goes down and they say, well, you're going to be the guy, Trey Benson gets hurt. So as much as people like him and the coaching staff can laud him, like, he showed in one game, like, not the guy right now. So I think a Breece Hall acquisition, if you could do it for, anything outside of a top 100 pick, I would do that. Everything else, though, I mean, like, running backs are available every offseason. They're available every draft. Bam Knights looked okay. Like, the run game's been a problem, but it's not necessarily because of the personnel at that position right now.
He is Johnny Venerable. You can follow him at Johnny Venerable. You can watch him today at 4:30 on PHNX Cardinals and all week at 4:30 since the game is on Monday. Johnny, always a pleasure. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. A big thank you to our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team for presenting today's show. A big thank you to the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, who had to put up with some major changes in the last second for the show. You can follow him at Shane Deef. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. And you can follow me at Espo. And remember, it's my daughter's birthday, so that's why I'm home. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.